I want to introduce myself. I'm our customer account manager for East Tennessee, so my customer being our mortgage lenders. So I'm here to train them, help them with their marketing, outreach, anything that they need. That's what I do. Just so you know, THDA, we are based out of Nashville. We're the state's housing finance agency. Every state has one. We're created by legislature to help promote safe, affordable housing options for our state's residents. And one way we do that is through these low down payment programs. I'll tell you a little bit about our agency and kind of how we work. Like I said, we're the state's housing finance agency. So we were created back in 1973 by legislature. We do operate with a governance of 14 board of directors, been around since '73, 4 office locations throughout Tennessee, so we do have regional staff. We have about 275 agency employees. And when we talk about mortgage servicing, once you originate a mortgage, there's going to be a holder of your loan. It's going to be who you make your payments to, who you contact for assistance should you face a hardship down the road. They handle all of your escrow payments, meaning they're going to pay your property taxes and insurance for you. That comes out of your mortgage payment. And so we have our own in-house servicer. It's a division of THDA called Volunteer Mortgage Loan Servicing. So that being said, if you do end up going with Great Choice and having one of our loans, you're always going to know exactly who has your loan. It's not going to be sold to a random servicer. No questions where you make your payments and who do you call for help. So a little bit how we work. We are kind of like quasi-government agency. We are for profit. We don't operate off the state's budget, but we don't use taxpayer dollars either to fund the agency. So when we talk about it, we do have things like a credit score limit. We do have income limits. We do cap our sales price or purchase price of $400,000, but we'll talk more about that in a moment. If you have a Great Choice mortgage, just know that you're also helping your fellow Tennesseans, because with some of the interest earnings that we're making from what you're paying at the agency, we put that into what we call the Tennessee Housing Trust Fund. This is a fund where we award competitive grants to local governments, municipalities, nonprofits, so they can do things like help invest in housing for the disabled, the homeless, other at-risk Tennesseans. So a lot of things that we do in housing. We do a lot of housing tax credits for multifamily development properties. So other reasons to consider a Great Choice home loan. So like Brad said, you can really get into a home with very little money out of pocket. And what this is, we do have very competitive interest rates. I dare to say we have the lowest rate right now in the state. So our rate's just a little bit above 6% right now for our heroes, which I'll mention in a moment, including our first responders and state and local law enforcement. So the other benefit of going with Great Choice is we have what we call a second mortgage home loan. So we can either lend you $6,000, there's no interest, there's no monthly payment. It's what we call a silent second mortgage. You can use this to either go towards your down payment, it can help pay your closing costs, so you don't have to ask your seller to pay a ton. But $6,000, basically what happens is it just kind of hangs off out there in La La Land until you go to sell or refinance your home, at which point it's just included in the payoff of your mortgage. It's no money actually out of pocket to pay that off. April touched on price appreciation. And I will say, I think the state's average last year was just over 5% in appreciation, meaning 5% of whatever your home loan was, it's going up that much each year. And that $6,000 you're going to recoup probably in your first year of home ownership. So it's not money you're ever going to see leave your pocket. The other option, if you need more than that, I'll talk about loan tax in a minute, but let's say you need enough money to pay your down payment, plus some to go towards closing costs, so you don't have to come up with that out of pocket. You can do 6% of the purchase price up to that $400,000 limit. So that's up to $24,000 down payment and closing costs. A couple of updates that we just had with the program. The most important being we did increase our income limits. We have income limits that vary by county. So for Knox County, for instance, if you have a 1 to 2 person household, you can make just over $86,000, whoever's applying for the mortgage. If you have 3 or more folks living in your home, you can make just over $99,000 a year and still qualify for the program. So we do have very moderate income limits. And then the acquisition cost limit, it's a lot of wording. That just means whatever you're paying for the home. So whatever you go under contract, purchase price for your house, it just can't go over $400,000. And then I'll touch just a little bit on the home buying process and some misconceptions. The most important being is, one, you've got to have 20% saved for a down payment. You don't. And a lot of these loan programs are 3.5% down payment, or for like our USDA or VA loans, you don't have to have any money down at all. The second misconception really is the credit score. You don't have to have absolutely perfect, spotless credit to be able to obtain a mortgage. And I know we talked about building credit, and that is important, but we also have a program for folks who have zero credit at all. So if they truly have no credit score, they've been operating off of cash, savings, we also can originate loans for those folks as well. We just have to verify some non-traditional trade lines is what we call them, things that you pay on time for 12 months. So that can be childcare, your cell phone bill, if you've been paying rent, utilities, car insurance. We can use any one of those things as a trade line, and you can still obtain a mortgage. And then last misconception is that buying a home through THDA is complicated. Even though we are a state housing finance agency, we only have 3 forms that you have to sign. Literally, it's just an e-signature and you're done. And we do have all this information on our website, so greatchoicetn.com, click on Buy a Home, and then it'll kind of give you a run through of everything you need to know. And talking about the credit score, just to show you kind of what an average, this is from last year, an average credit score of our buyers in these counties. So the U.S. as a whole was a 694, but Knoxville 692, Anderson County 686, Blount County 701, Knox 697, Loudoun County 710, Rome County 693. So you'll see our credit scores typically on average are even higher than what the requirement is. That we would require you to take a homebuyer ed class. This can be online or in person, just whatever makes the most sense for your schedule. But we do have all HUD certified education counselors. And of course, your trusted lender, your realtor, they're going to walk you through all this. I didn't know that was on the deck. Alright, so these are the different low down payment loan types. So basically, you only have to have 3.5% of whatever that home cost for down payment. And that's where we come in with the $6,000 or 6% to help you get there. VA, USDA, same thing. No money down on those programs, but we can help you with closing costs, or if you just want to reduce your monthly payment and put some money towards a down payment, you can. Then I mentioned that conventional program could be 3 to 5%. So 3% Freddie Mac HFA Advantage. If you're purchasing a manufactured home with Freddie Mac, you do have to come to the table with 5% in down payment. But with any of these other loan types, you can also purchase manufactured homes as well. For more information though about our products, we do have a first-time home buyer's handbook. You can go to thisgreatchoicetn.com. If you're interested in signing up for that homebuyer ed class, to get you a certificate stating that you are ready for THDA mortgage, you can sign up for that here as well. Really just the takeaway here is that just know that you have options. So no matter whether you have savings or not, whether you've been able to save because of insane rents, it's okay because we've got programs for you.